KLBJ.com.
The Todd and Don Show is on the air. We're live, and we want you to join us at 512-836-0590.
Yeah.
Now, here are Todd and Don.
So glad you chose to join us. The live recording of the Todd and Don Show daily vlog, which you can find every day on my YouTube channel at Todd Jeffries. A pretty interesting conversation. It all began with a Statesman article over the weekend involving taxes, rich folk that own homes along the river. Did you see it? It's the story is now posted on the Todd and Don Facebook page. Bottom line is, as a lot of folks have been, they haven't had to pay property taxes in a long time to the city because they kind of were grandfathered in, if you will.
Big time.
And folks are weighing in on this story on the front page at Todd and Don Show Facebook page. Let's go to Jeffrey in Southwest Austin. Good morning.
Hey, guys. I read the Statesman article, and the first thing that popped in my mind was, well, if our city council tells us how smart they are all the time, how come they hadn't known anything about this since 1986?
Yeah.
And would call for a really good reason why how many other programs out there really need to be audited, along with who's getting services, not getting services, who's paying taxes, who's not paying taxes.
It's pretty interesting. So, another day and another reminder that we need a full city audit.
Well, but they're smarter than the rest of us. They know more about it than we do.
That's true. That's true, Jeffrey. That's a good point. Well, a lot of people are asking the question, how did so many Austinites, Austin's elite, get an exemption from paying city property taxes? I'd like to know who lives in these homes, actually. Politicians, celebrities, that sort of thing. Well, this all started more than a century ago when the state authorized the city to annex the Colorado River shores, extending roughly 22 miles from the city's center to, maintain the shores in hopes of improving water quality in the future.
Right.
Now, when Austin annexed those properties back in 1891, city leaders included a concession that the city would never be able to provide basic services to those living there. And so anyone who chose to live there would not be subjected to, city taxes. Jump in here at 512-836-0590. Jimmy Flanagan and City Councilman Greg Kassar, they plan to address this issue today.
Well, I got to be honest with you. My family had a lake house on the shores of Lake Austin for over 30 years. I was a lot younger. I wasn't aware of the city tax situation. I wasn't paying the taxes. I wasn't seeing the bills. There was a mud district out where we were. That's where we got our water. And, as far as sanitation and all that, another company was doing it, I guess. But this is more grandfathered in. This is great grandfathered in. This is going way, way back. But if they are, there's no justification for it anymore. If they're getting city services.
Here's what Corey had to say. Here's his comment on the Todd and Don Show page where the story is. Corey says to preserve these properties, the owners have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. Good for them. It's nice to see parts of Austin not going to the pooper. That's what one guy says. Let's see here. Robert says, I bet our city council property tax addicts are really pissed about this. Here's another one. 10,000 plus square feet of homes there. Lance used to own one of these.
Yeah, he did.
Lance Armstrong owned one of these properties. Never had to pay city taxes.
Right.
Police show up. The fire department shows up. That's a city service. You're buying water from Austin, right? You're buying electricity from Austin.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
The fire department will show up. EMS will show up, but they'll send you a nice bill to go along with it. But there you go. Should this be overturned?
Yes.
Should this be changed? Should these people that live there be paying property taxes just like everybody else is?
There's no justification anymore. The day is past. It's time. It is time. And these people that are living along the lake, they can afford it. So come on. Let's.
I'd like to ask them if they've been using city services in any way. Joseph says, so if you're not being provided services or using the services, you shouldn't be taxed? That's just a question. So if you're not receiving these services, he's wondering, well, hey, wait a minute. If I'm not receiving these city services, maybe I shouldn't be taxed too. He's just trying to, get a sweet deal here. There you go.
It makes sense both ways. If you're not receiving the services, then you shouldn't have to. You should not be paying for something you don't benefit from.
Got an update from, let's see here. The story is about Joseph McClatchy. He's 38 years old. He's from Fort Worth, and he has been found alive. He had been missing since May the 31st when he went on a hike for his birthday. Rescue teams found him using a helicopter to fly over the steep Arkansas terrain where he got lost. They sprinted uphill about 45 minutes to get to him and bring him to safety. McClatchy was treated for dehydration and has now been released from the hospital. He spoke Sunday and thanked the teams that came and find him. He said, "I thought I'd never see anyone again." Yeah, this rescued hiker, 38, spent a week lost in a deep Arkansas woods.
Man.
Speaks out after being found in the middle of the night by a search team who used infrared technology to find his body hidden beneath a canopy of trees.
I got a problem with this. I really do. And we've had a rash of this lately. You know, we had the woman in Hawaii who went on a hike and took a nap and then got lost and all that. She said she was being guided by some other force and, you know, took 3 weeks or whatever it was to find her. And then we've got, you know, some other occurrences recently. I think this is a very self-centered, stupid thing to do unless you're just incredibly, incredibly prepared for any possibility. These people that head out by themselves and get themselves, he can't blame anybody but himself for getting himself into this situation. And as a result, you're putting other lives at risk. The folks that are trying to find you, it costs a lot of money. It uses up resources. I'm glad that he's alive, but I have a real problem with it.
I think we're seeing a rash of these because of that show, Naked and Afraid.
You think?
I think people are, getting hooked on that show, and they think, oh, man, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could go out on a hike and kind of get lost and find my way back, and then they realized, it's not as safe as you think it is.
No.
Yeah, this hiker was rescued late Friday after spending 6 days alone in the Arkansas mountains, which is, isn't that the scene of the set of Deliverance as well? Was it the Arkansas mountains?
I think maybe so.
I may be wrong on that. But, you get lost in the Arkansas mountains.
You're lost.
And if you come across Ned Beatty or anybody related to the movie, run. If you hear a banjo in the distance, just run. Just start screaming and running. Just get the hell out of there.
Just don't squeal like a pig.
He was found in the middle of the night after getting lost in Caney Creek Wilderness. This is near Mena, Arkansas.
Yeah.
He had gone out May the 31st for a hike to celebrate his birthday, and he got lost.
Yep.
Next day, he texted his mother asking to alert authorities. So even from the very get-go, he knew that he was lost.
Yeah. But he had a cell signal?
He had some sort of cell signal at one point. It was able to get a text message out, and they were able to get a helicopter up, and it took him a few days.
I wouldn't go out and do something like that without a satellite phone just to make sure.
Susan in Cedar Park, good morning.
Hi, Todd. Hey, Don.
Hi.
Something just came out just recently that said it's been scientifically proven if you were born after 1980, you're just not as smart as the people born before 80.
Yeah. Where'd you see that?
It was in some news feed, some article. And just by the things that are happening recently and the things that you see on the news and telling people what to do, you kind of just wonder if common sense has just been taken out of the curriculum.
Well, I think we have a long list of dumbasses, young and old. I mean, I'm not sure what 1980 has to do with it.
We got plenty before that. I don't know. Apparently,
people got dumb after 1980, I guess?
Apparently, she's seen some actual data. So.
Jake is on 15th Street this morning and has something to say about these elites that live along the river, along the lake, that haven't been paying property taxes. Jake, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Yes, sir.
So the absolute mass majority of those folks don't get any city services.
None whatsoever.
As in nada.
Nothing. No, the city doesn't pave the streets or anything like that. And I mean, they get some. They may get some. Who picks up the trash? They probably have a contract with a trash company.
Well, all of those burgs end up in little, municipalities. They may be Westlake or, they're out there by.
So the police have never responded. The fire have never responded to any of those homes.
Not City of Austin.
No. So it's the county. The county responds.
In most cases, yes, sir.
Volunteer fire.
Volunteer, really?
Yes,
those multi-million-dollar homes have a volunteer fire department.
Well, when you say volunteer, the City of Westlake has a fire department that's largely volunteer, but
yes,
yeah, same kind of thing. Yeah,
interesting. You know anybody that lives over there, Jake? Any of those homes?
Over the years, I have, sure.
Yeah. What do you think about the story? Should they be paying property taxes?
Well, they are paying property taxes. They're not paying City of Austin property.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's the story. That's the
mean.
story. That's why they're having a press conference today. Should they be?
Well, I like Don's analysis. If you don't get services, why should you pay the taxes?
All right.
If that is indeed the case, that the large number of them still aren't getting city services, then yeah, Okay, this is very confusing.
Stephen in Riverside, good morning.
Yeah, I am a resident of this limited purpose annexation.
You live on the lake, on the river.
Well, yeah, it's just off the lake, but it is in limited purpose annexation.
All right, so what do you make of this?
Well, I'd gladly pay city taxes if I got the city services. I'll give you an example. My septic system needed to be replaced.
All right.
After trying to get permits from 4 different entities, the LCRA, the Travis County, what used to be the TNRCC, and then finally the city of Austin, $20,000 later, I have a septic system. I'd rather have a city sewer. The same thing with my water system. Over the last 40 years, I've replaced pumps and different components. Thankfully, I have not had to ever drill a new well, but I've had, considerable maintenance there.
Right.
Which if I had a water line, I pay $500 a year to get my trash hauled off. So, without the services, and also as far as the water, electricity. Yes, we pay the Austin Energy, but there is a surcharge if you're not inside the city limits.
Interesting.
So they can yab all they want to about that, but if they want to run a water line and a sewer line down River Hills Road, I would just welcome them.
I'm not sure they're going to be eager to do that.
No,
that could be very pricey.
Sure.
So Travis County, your police?
Yes, Travis County, and there is a car out there from time to time. Gerald Doherty does keep our road maintained, and they recently repaved that. And there is I think some type of a fire district that we do pay taxes on. It's not City of Austin, but it's some type of county thing run, out there, I think, behind Corner Box somewhere.
Is this something that you and the neighbors have been talking about? I mean, have you gotten wind of this big press conference the city's going to hold later today? Have you heard about this?
Well, I heard about it. Yes, I've been reading about it in the paper.
Yeah,
but I haven't been really discussing it with my neighbors.
Yeah, I'm just curious what the general consent. We're not talking about a lot of people, though, are we? Maybe a few hundred homes.
A few hundred homes. Yeah.
Probably more than that, depending on where they are.
Yeah, I got to look at a map to see exactly what area we're talking. Well, it's 22 miles. 22 miles of the river.
Well, just look at the. I think it starts in Westlake and goes under the 360 bridge and all the way up nearly to Mansfield Dam.
Yeah. How long you live there?
42 years.
42 years, man. You have seen that area grow, haven't you?
You sure have.
Wow.
And I live in a really nice house, but it can't be described as a mansion.
No. Well, what do you mean? How big is it?
It's about 3,000 square feet.
Oh, that's not a mansion. That's a tiny house,
that's
man.
Nothing.
How long have you lived in
it? It's a stack out where
it's your palace, though.
Yeah, it's your palace. It's your castle, man.
Yeah.
You want to live in a tiny place like that. Well, Stephen, I appreciate you calling, man. That's an interesting perspective. I mean, no taxation without representation, right?
Well, no taxation without city services.
Right.
Or that.
And you wouldn't mind paying some city property taxes if they put a sewer line in and started that sort of stuff.
Yeah. But now we do have the right to vote in the city elections.
You do. Okay. You do vote in the city elections, of course. Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Stephen. There you go.
All right, there you go.
Now you're up to date.
Now you got it.
All right. 512-836-0590.
Therefore, I see no justification for taxation.
You don't?
Not based on what he told us, his particular situation, and everybody around him. No, it doesn't make any sense.
There you go.
I also, I can't believe that the city was not aware of this, that this is just something that they just kind of looked down and went, wait a minute, who are these people, and how come they're not paying? As you pointed out, probably another great justification for the audit.
Listen, former Boston Red Sox player David Ortiz, Big Papi, He's recovering after being shot inside a bar in the Dominican Republic.
Golly.
What a horrible story this is. Here's Fox reporter Griff Jenkins.
David Ortiz is not only a legend for the Red Sox after 14 seasons and 3 World Championships, but he is a hero here in the Dominican Republic. And last night, just before 9 o'clock, about an hour and a half away in Santo Domingo, the capital, he was shot in a nightclub at close range in the back. His father, Leo Ortiz, telling reporters just hours ago that he is in stable condition. He is resting, and that, quote, Big Papi will be around for a long time. The Red Sox team putting out a statement saying, we have offered David's family all available resources to aid in his recovery and will continue to keep them in our hearts.
There you go, man. What a horrible story that is.
What would the motive be? Or again, I wonder if it was another intended target. Maybe it's mistaken identity.
I'm not even sure why he would even go out to a bar like that. I mean, in the Dominican Republic. I mean, he is seen as a national treasure.
Oh, he's a god.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If the guy ran for president or mayor, he'd win.
Sure.
In his home country.
Absolutely.
But not a safe place.
No.
For someone like him.
Right.
Without security.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just seems like it wasn't a smart thing to do to go out like that.
Unless he is involved in some shenanigans that we're not aware of.
Well,
but it sounds like it might have just been kind of a random nutty thing.
I think that's what it is there. That's what I've heard. Just a wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And may not have been the intended target.
Well, fortunately, they didn't get any important meat. Just, I guess, went through him, and he's going to be all right.
I know you're sad about this next story.
What's about to happen? Oh, no.
A publicist for the Geto Boys says that Bushwick Bill.
You had me at Geto Boys.
We've lost him. Representatives of the pioneering rapper Bushwick Bill. It says he's been hospitalized in critical condition, but is still alive, contrary to some reports. When we woke up this morning, we got word that Bushwick was dead. But apparently he's in the hospital.
He is.
His publicist, Don P., he told the Associated Press, it's D-A-W-N.
Okay.
Somebody else has stole your name.
Damn it, I'll sue.
Told the Associated Press the rapper is on a ventilator at a Colorado hospital.
Okay.
She says the hospital officials confirmed Bill's condition Sunday morning, and the family is traveling there to be with him. Pete Moreo, Bill's Dallas business manager, says the 52-year-old was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. That's a tough one to beat, man. Back in February.
Yeah.
Not expected to recover, according to those close to him. Bill, whose legal name is Richard Shaw, goes by Bushwick Bill, though, in the rapping world. And he had been planning to go on tour after recovering from this, he thought.
Yeah.
He's a founding member of the iconic Houston rap group, the Geto Boys. The Jamaican-born performer was widely reported to have passed away Sunday, but no, bandmates know. They said on Instagram he's still alive. He's dying, but he's still alive, they said.
I don't know much about the world of rap. You do. You know more about it than I do. Are you familiar with his body of work?
Yeah, in the late 80s, early 90s, the Geto
Bushwick
Boys
Bill.
were very popular.
I remember hearing about the Geto Boys. I do. But I'm not too familiar with him. So hearts and prayers out to Bushwick Bill.
Pancreatic cancer, stage 4, man. That's
right.
That's a deadly one.
Well, it's the one thing that Alex Trebek apparently is kicking, though.
He's
apparently,
beating it.
so far he's kicking it in the butt.
Right.
So
doing pretty good.
No pun intended.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Alex Trebek, man, he's fighting and still fighting.
Good.
And had some good progress. Bushwick Bill's
not so much.
Not doing too well there in the hospital in Colorado on a ventilator.
Yeah.
There you go. You don't have a favorite Geto Boys song you want to mention or go into a freestyle on or anything like that?
If you give me 24 hours, I'll peruse some of the work and maybe I'll develop a favorite. But right now, I couldn't tell you one. Could not.
Because you're in shock.
Maybe that's it.
Maybe because you're in shock.
Maybe that's it. It's hard news. So.
I mean, I know you have it in your cassette player in your Buick right now, some Geto Boys.
I might. Maybe Kim has some.
Yeah.
Geto Boys. I'll ask her.
You know, let me write that down so you know what to look up on Spotify later. Let me look that up, write that
Geto
down
Boys.
for you.
Would you? Email me.
Write that down for you.
Email me.
All right, 512-836-0590. So Walmart has a pretty interesting idea to deliver groceries, not to your house, but to your refrigerator.
Direct.
Yeah, this is something you'd subscribe to. It's not mandatory. None of this is ever mandatory.
Not mandatory, no.
But it's a pretty interesting concept. We heard from Elizabeth Stockton, a CNBC reporter, to explain how all of this might go down. Here she is.
So this new service comes with safeguards that Walmart thinks will take the creep factor out of somebody being in your house when you're not home.
We have our own associates, these are W-2 employees that have been with Walmart for more than a year. We have a camera that's on their vest when they walk in, and customers could actually watch on their app them come into the home, put the stuff into their fridge, and then leave. And they have a one-time use code with a smart lock to get into the home.
Walmart's CEO of e-commerce, Mark Laurie, on CNBC. You could also just have that delivery person put the Walmart delivery in your garage if you have a fridge in there.
There you go.
The tests are happening in St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Vero Beach, Florida. There is no price yet announced.
There you go. They don't know how much it's going to cost at this point, but what do you think about that?
I think for a lot of people it's going to be great. You know,
I think it's awesome.
You have some older folks that not only is it hard for them maybe to get to the store, but it's also, if they do, it can be difficult for them just to get their groceries in from the car.
Sure.
So I think this is a fantastic idea.
Yeah, for a lot of people. I mean, this is kind of a Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah. And you know, there might be just some lazy ass people out there that would like to have it. So
I'm trying to think of, you mentioned a couple of things there. You know, elderly person maybe can't get up.
Right.
Maybe you're injured. You broke your leg or something on the job, and you just need it temporarily.
Yeah, there are all kinds of scenarios.
I'm just trying to think of scenarios where you would do this if you're already at home. And
right.
That would be the scenario.
Right.
Somebody that's ill, somebody that's disabled. This is a great feature.
Maybe you drink all day. Maybe that's all you do, and you just don't walk well.
Right.
So this might be a good thing for you to at least have food in the house.
Alyssa says maybe just because they're lazy and high.
Or there's that.
Maybe that could be it
That's
right there.
That's right. It would kind of creep me out a little bit. She talked about the creep factor. I think it would I wouldn't be necessarily easy.
You're not even part of the customer base.
No, I know. I'm just saying though. You know, right now it would be kind of odd thinking that someone I have no idea who this person is walking in my house as we speak.
Well, I mean that happens anytime you have a contractor at your house.
Yeah, I mean it's not like you can be there all the time.
Plumber, electrician, whatever.
But
you know?
yeah, usually. But I'm talking about if I'm not there. Yeah. And I've had occasionally a construction person or something that I trusted, I knew that I would leave the house, but. Employee from Walmart just walked. Oh, sorry, let the dog out. Broke a lamp. And hope you don't mind. Can I use your bathroom?
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, stay with us. 5 minutes away from the top stories here on the Todd and Don Show.
The Todd and Don Show.
I don't think you can beat